So I guess I'll just start off asking you guys, do you feel like there's a science to being attracted to whomever you're attracted to, or how you are attracted to people in general?
Hmm.
You
I
say
would
yes?
say yes. I would say
Okay.
there is. But my take on attraction comes in a different. I don't look at attraction from a standpoint of aesthetics. I look at it. I look at attraction from a standpoint of um, a spiritual side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by that is the whole law of attraction.
Right.
Most people are familiar with it. What you speak,
Right.
you can manifest, right?
Right. Mhm.
Um, and so what you put out is what you ideally should get back in.
Right.
Now, I think that that's some bunky a little bit. Um, but no, well, anyway, we'll dive a little deeper in that. I think it's
Go
some
ahead.
little.
We'll come back to the bunkie. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go
we'll
ahead.
come back to the monkey, but I think it's some bunky in here, um, with regards to that. But from a standpoint of energy that people carry, from
Right.
a standpoint of when you meet someone and the word says, talks about people being unevenly and evenly yoked, and like
Right.
I do believe that there's truly a science to that. Um, but I'm gonna pass the torch on to Coach in just a second. But I just want to throw that out. Like that's my perspective as far as attraction. It's a spiritual thing.
Okay. For those who are in the right spirit or just in general.
No, just in general, it's
Okay.
spiritual for me. Hmm.
Okay. What
Yeah.
about you, coach?
I'd actually agree with that. And I would just add, in addition to beyond the physical attraction, because I think that's something that we all share, right? Men and women, that's the first thing that attracts you to someone is how they look, because you
Right.
have them speak most likely. Yeah, so and then you're intrigued by the person that they are, you learn, you learn them. And I think that it's more so about energy and chemistry. Like I'm huge on energy. Like you don't have to
Absolutely.
I like I have listen, dated some ugly people. Like listen, not people, okay? Men and women. But it's listen,
Right.
it's all right. Okay. Oh wait, not
So,
women,
so
but
you're saying you experience the same thing on both ends, whether it's an attraction to a male or a female. That's what you're saying?
yeah, I mean, it applies both ways, is what I mean. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
regardless of the sex, whether it's a man, woman, whatever the case, I think it's more so who that person is, the characteristics that attract you to them, that keep, because it's one thing to bait a fish, right? But it's another to throw it back and keep it, right? So, I think it's a different process, and you're looking for more than the physical attraction when it comes to choosing like a long term or lifelong partner.
Gotcha. I
Yeah.
don't. I think that this is gonna. Well, even if it sounds weird, it is what it is. Um, it's very like if I'm attracted to you, it's usually not. I'm not pursuing you because that attraction is not enough alone for me to pursue you. And what I mean by that, that's why I'm gonna break it down. Like you could be walking in the street and see a guy and you're like, "Zang," right? Yeah, usually that's not enough for me. So attraction is necessary, but when it just starts off with that, it's not enough for me. And the part that you didn't hear earlier, Doc, was I think naturally I am also attracted to women, but I would not pursue a woman. I think the species of women are beautiful, right? Um, the way they look, the way they're built, all of that is very beautiful. But I would not pursue a woman. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't be like, all right, let's go. That's what I said. Attraction is not my driving force. But um, I have seen men like again, what you walked into, just a tall, dark chocolate man, like hallelujah. But again, not the not the driving force for me to be with them.
Hmm.
Um, but even like my current person that I'm with, my person, I think my attraction to him is far deeper. Like, you can't tell me nothing. He's the sexiest man alive. You know what I mean? But that attraction was built on more than just the visual attraction that I have. You know, it has like the spiritual, the who you make me when I'm with you, and all of that. That attraction, I think, is more of the science of attraction. Like, there's more to that science, because you do my heart good, you do my soul good. So everything else is like, yep, you can't tell me. So that's what I think attraction, or I think that's the better attraction, and I've learned that over time versus, you know, when I was like 15, 16, 20, you attracted to someone and you just hot and horny, you know what I mean? It's just a different thing. But I also know, dealing with male friends, they're on a whole different avenue when it comes to attraction. Whole different avenue. When they get to attraction. And I think sometimes that's what trips women up, is that trying to figure out that attraction. Like, okay, I could be attracted to you, bang you out, and then keep it going. That doesn't mean I want to be with you. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
Not, you had to laugh. You laugh. You like, I'm just saying, I mean,
yeah.
Being trans. Go ahead.
And the reason why I got tickled is because when we talk about the science of attraction or the law of attraction, it takes into account the previous topic we had conversation on, and I'm going to use Coach. I will use Coach word Delulu, as she could only eloquently say it, because it does account for women. It does account for those things, those expectations that we have that may be actually unrealistic.
Right.
But so all of it really does tie in together, and you got to be, and that's why I said earlier about the bunk. Like, we as women, we can say, Father God, I want this, and this, and this, right? And in actuality, is that really real? And I believe that and I believe that higher power is like, ma'am, you a whole fool. No, that ain't what that ain't what it is. And so yes, I think that's where some misalignments come into play. And so when we start talking about attraction, and we're thinking this attraction is supposed to come to a complete point, and it's off centered, then we say, oh, well, he's the problem.
Right.
Whatever the case is what it actually is that we're not supposed to be together in that way. Right. Like, if you're seeking a marriage or a relationship leading to marriage, let's do it that way, right?
Like a long term.
But if it's not aligning, it's just not aligning, and you're not gonna make
it.
But
some people try to make it align on, yo, she got a fat ass,
and that's why he said, you're a whole fool.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna be very, very transparent. Most men in my life that have fallen for me are not like, dang girl, your body's bang. For those of you who don't know me, I am not booty inclined at all. You know what I mean? But I'm just being honest, they haven't. It's been how I make them feel, how that energy is, how that conversation, who I am with them, that type of thing. But I feel like a lot of women feel that as they work on the external and not on the internal, they grow that attraction. I'm not saying that, but you don't grow what makes things last. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes it's hard for us to see that, because guess what? We live in a world of filters and social media and AI and other people dictating what is attractive. Definitely a lot of planting seeds to tell other people what's attractive. And even though women go through it a lot, I think men go through it too. It's just not as uh blatant maybe as women's, because I mean they paint a picture. You need to be shaped like this and look like this and hair like that and eyelashes and we got people walking around looking like snuffleupagus because they believe that that's what makes them look beautiful. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. But then but we don't talk about the fact that men who are not tall have a stigma that they have to get past. I don't want you. Like, it's very rare you hear a woman say, "I want a short man." Like, it just doesn't happen. But they don't have control over that, right? Or I want a man that got a six pack. Those are things that are not. It doesn't make you less attractive to the right person.
And it's artificial. Like, I mean, because you can lose that six pack. Like, it takes no time. You keep just not work out. Eat whatever you want for a little while. I mean, all those things. It's like Doc was saying. It's aesthetics. It has nothing to do with who I am.
Right. But I mean, you have women that are killing themselves. How many people went to go get a BBL and didn't wake up? Oh, I'm sorry. That's the Delulu. Sorry. Delulu. But it's a real pressure that people, women, men experience. I mean, hello. We have men who wear lace front wigs now. Why are you wearing a lace front wig? Because it makes you, it fills in with what is being portrayed. So I just think, I don't know. I just don't think that first layer attraction people realize, yes, it may start, but it's not usually what builds your relationship.
Or at least it shouldn't be.
Well,
right.
A sustainable relationship anyway.
Yeah. It shouldn't be.
Start off with something.
Well, so do you think that some people are in relationships that are, well, I'm gonna call it toxic, but maybe I need to say something, that are not the best relationships, but because that person is attractive or shaped a certain way, that they stay in the relationship?
No, absolutely. Because think about it. It's more so about the reflection or the projection of who you are or who you think you should be on your partner. Now you're putting that pressure on your partner. You know what I mean? Like the whole theory of like, just think about a trophy wife. Why do who are the guys who mostly have trophy wives? They ugly. They're not that cute, right? They got money or they got some kind of great job or a good career. They're an athlete or whatever the case may be, and they have a trophy. It's the whole like premise of all I got to do is just
show up and look cute.
Yeah, but it's like, and sometimes that's the life. That is what they do. But I mean, that's all they want. They want their house kept, okay, and they want hot food. They want them legs open whenever they say so.
Yeah, split and spit.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just, you need more than that. You need more than that for sustainable. Now
you should need more than that.
Yeah, you absolutely do though. Like the energy, it takes more than love. It's just like saying, "Oh yeah, and love will make it last." No, love will not. Okay,
right.
It takes more than love.
It takes a lot. Right.
It takes more than looks. It takes way more than looks to sustain. Because if I'm mad at you, you're the ugliest thing in the world. I don't care how fine you are.
That is true.
Just
like your ugly self. No, I'm goodness one.
You bald ass. No, but for real.
My face. Mad, right?
And
sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. For me on this topic, when we talk about attraction, I think about and because we talk about this as well on the show, which is being not well with ourselves. We're not being emotionally healthy. When you spoke about the term toxic, that's what triggered my mind on this, because I also believe that whether we realize it or not, what we have inside of us is what we attract. And so
Mm.
even though that's why I said that's what I'm saying, like the whole law of attraction, you speak it, it's going to manifest, is some bunk because in my opinion it's some bunk, because I can speak a whole lot of things and write them down 5, 6, 7 times, 3 times a day in that whole methodology. Um, because there's a whole lot of methodologies out there about manifesting. But at the end of the day, if I myself have some unresolved things going on, that the probability of what it is that I'm lacking, that I'm trying to feel, is what I'm going to attract, which may not be the healthiest thing for
Right.
me. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I'm going to attract this other situation thinking it's going to fix me.
Right. But there are people
And it's
who
not.
build on just that. Like, oh, this person's really nice, they have a job, but I like this look. And so they go towards the look and then wonder why that relationship isn't working.
Correct.
Because sometimes what we want is not what we need. What makes our eyes happy is not what's going to make us happy. Yeah. I'm just like, but here's something, and you may or may not agree, because I know you different, Doc, but I do know that there are women do look at men's ex and go, that's who he was with. Like, I'm just being honest, or vice versa. Women look at a man's who they're with and go, oh my gosh, that's who they're with, and start to compare their beauty to that person's beauty. So then your question is, your self-reflection now is dependent on someone else's beauty. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Run it one more time. Okay.
Yeah.
So women compare their beauty to other people.
Come on with me.
Give you a real. Let me give it to you with more concrete. So I have an acquaintance who.
No, use me and you. Don't give me no acquaintance. So what you're saying? What you're saying is, say.
So I start dating your man.
And listen.
And I go, oh, that's who he with, right?
Okay.
And then you get what I'm saying? Because now I'm comparing I'm basing my attraction, like, this person's attracted to me.
Yes.
Is it because I look like that person?
Yes. Okay. Listen though.
Okay. I'm like, did I not make that make sense?
No, you made it clear. I'm gonna tell you why I need you to repeat it for me, because I'm weird.
She about to get into auntie mode. I already
No, I'm gonna tell you why, because I got tickled on the inside because I'm weird in a good way. Because I recognize that some women do that, right?
That's what I said. You different than I said.
No. I recognize some women do that, and because of the fact that I do have exes, ex-husband, things of that sort, I try to make sure that when I come into a room, when I come into this room where, even though he's my ex, and he's married, and he's remarried, but when I see his family or come in contact with them, I try to make sure that I look like,
yes.
Yes,
he missed out on this. Absolutely. Thank you.
And I know that sounds so petty and stupid.
No, it do not.
Worried about that.
I bet you there's a bunch of women, if they're watching, like, yes, honey, yes, I do.
Yeah, and it's not that I want him to check me or for her to be checking me or anything like that. That's not. But it's for me. It's a self-confidence thing. And I don't know if that's shallow or what, or have somebody.
No, that's absolutely right, because when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's.
So when I go out, I try to make sure that everybody know. Yeah, that's that. It's right there. I sure.
Right.
Am.
Right.
I know that's right, as you should. Okay.
But in a.
But I don't want the other woman
relatable, but also at the same time, it's kind of like, we shouldn't do that, but we do.
But I don't want someone. I don't want that woman to look at me and and try to compare herself to me or feel like there's a competition, because baby, there's no, and so that's where I think the and that's I'm gonna say this, but then because I don't want us to get off the topic, but I think that's where some contention comes into play, where jealousy gets involved and create other issues.
Yeah. So
You know what I'm saying? Because
as-
that woman is like, oh, that's her.
right.
I'm worried
Okay.
about